ReadOn is an assistive and therapeutic software tool for people with reading difficulties, including dyslexia. So basically, a student who has been unable to access written text can access text using ReadOn, utilising the voices. It can also be used as a writing tool, so students can type their work into ReadOn and then listen back to it, which makes it easier to pick up errors in punctuation. And it also has a talking spell check, which is helpful for spelling errors. And ReadOn also includes some therapeutic elements like the ability to do visual tracking exercises with ReadOn. You can also record images and meanings for particular words, and it also has a word bank that collects all the words that a student has had difficulty with when they've been reading. So basically, ReadOn is an assistive and therapeutic reading and writing tool for the literacy classroom. Okay, once you've logged into ReadOn, there's two modes. There's the read mode that we're in now. That's where you'd access all the assistive and therapeutic reading functions. And then there's write mode. And you would use write mode to enter a text into ReadOn or to use ReadOn as a writing tool. So what we'll do is go through all of the read mode functions first and then the write mode functions. So when you're in read mode, you can go through just highlighting individual words as you're going through the text, so it's easy for the student to see where they're up to. And you can do this using the left and right arrow keys on the keyboard, or you can use these arrows up the top. Or we can highlight phrase at a time by using the up and down arrow keys on the keyboard. The phrase at a time is quite helpful to use as a visual cue for fluent reading, or also as a comprehension tool, perhaps at the end of each phrase, asking a student just to recap what it is that they've just read. Okay, now if a student comes to a word that they don't know, they can get word assistance by either pressing on the space bar,
cycle,
or they can click on word up here and listen to the word,
cycle,
or they can listen to the whole phrase if they want to by clicking on phrase.
The life cycle of a butterfly.
Or you can listen to a whole paragraph. And then in options, this is where we'd really customise ReadOn to suit the individual student or the activity that they're doing. The word assist style, we had it just reading then. If we want to, we can have it sweep over each word once, twice or three times before it's read. So when I click on word assist, it'll actually sweep over each letter and then read the word.
Cycle.
And that's particularly helpful for students who look at the first letter of a word and guess. It encourages them to actually visually track over the whole word before reading. And if we like, we can have ReadOn spell the word before it's read.
C-Y-C-L-E. Cycle.
And then we'll put that back to just read. If we want to, we can have that use that word assist style when clicking on a word or moving to the next word. So I've got it on just read and I've clicked that. So then as I'm going through the text, ReadOn will actually read it back to me.
A butterfly, egg, stage.
And so on. So we'll unclick that one. This one here, keep all the words to the left of the focus word highlighted. This is particularly helpful for students who are not ready to be confronted by a whole screen of text. What I can do is change the background text to the same colour as the page background, so the student's just seeing one word at a time, so they're not confronted by that whole screen full of writing. So I'll just unclick that one and get the background text back again. There we go. Okay, now we can also here adjust the sweep spell speed, so just by using the slider. So as ReadOn is sweeping over a word, we can make it faster or slower. And if we click this box here, we can have ReadOn increase that speed every so many words if we want to as well. The read style for phrases and paragraphs, we had ReadOn reading all highlighting all text. If we want to, we can have it highlight each word. So
the life cycle of a butterfly.
So it's very word by word reading, but we find sometimes people want to be able to associate what they're hearing with the word that they're seeing on the screen, so it's quite helpful for that purpose. We'll just put it back to highlight all text. Mark words where pictures or meanings are available. This is really helpful. With ReadOn, you can actually record images for particular words. So what I will do is just go back and unclick that one here. click on the word butterfly, and you can see there's a little icon there that tells me that I have actually recorded an image and a meaning for that word. So I can click on the icon and I've got a picture of a butterfly there, and if I want ReadOn to read back what it says,
butterfly, a beautiful monarch butterfly,
it'll read it to me. So this is really powerful in bringing a text to life for a student and for introducing new vocabulary, and also for students for whom English is a second language. This is a really helpful tool. Okay, back into options again, and these phrase delimiter marks, I can actually adjust what ReadOn reads as a phrase if I want to there. Voice style, ReadOn comes with a selection of voices. There's we're just using Karen now. There's also a male Australian voice, and there's also a selection of English and American accents as well. We'll just stick with Karen for now. We can also adjust the speed of the voice here and also the volume. When students are using ReadOn as an editing tool, so they've typed their work into ReadOn and they're listening back, we find that some students find it helpful to be able to slow the voice down when they're editing their work. So it's good for the students to know that that option is there. The write style functions, we'll go through these when we get to write mode. And students, we can add and remove students' names from this list if we want to, because ReadOn actually remembers the history for each user. So in a classroom situation, you could have multiple students using ReadOn and it will remember their history. Okay, read font. We can adjust the font style and the size there if we want to. Okay, pictures, this is where we can maintain our picture meanings, the images that we record for words. And to add a word, all I do is click on add word here, and I'm going to add the word be, click on add, and then insert picture, go to file, and it will take me to, I can go to my pictures for this, and I've got an image already of a bee there. Just go around it, okay. Okay, I'll put a meaning in for bee. And then the next time I come across that word in a text, I can access the image as well as the meaning. Now the word bank. ReadOn records all the words that a student has sought word assistance on in a reading session, and it can display the number of times as well that the student has sought word assistance on a particular word, or we can have it displayed without the frequency. So at the end of a session, a student can go through and have a look and see if they can read those words. So this word I think is cycle. I click on it, click on read word,
cycle,
and I'm correct. And if I want to remove the word, I can. I can also copy the list to clipboard, so use it, put it into Word or another program to do other exercises with the words if I want to. I can print the list out and I can clear the whole list as well. So I'll clear that. And we can print the page if we want to, clicking on print up here, and also ReadOn has comprehensive help available, as well as an audio-visual tutorial that goes through all of the functions step by step. These little buttons here are really helpful. ReadOn can save particular settings for students so that they're not having to change the settings themselves. So this one I've called Easy Read. So set the current to those previously stored as Easy Read. Okay, and that's where I've just got one word coming up initially and gradually building the screen up. This one I've set as Visual Tracking. So for this one, what will happen is I'm going through the text, it'll actually highlight individual letters and then read the word.
Life.
So really helpful for visual tracking and getting that left to right eye movement happening. And then finally regular, this will take me back to where I started, where I'm just going through highlighting individual words. And I can also adjust the focus text colour if I want to. So if I wanted to change that to red, I can do that. I can change the background text colour, so if I want to make that a little bit darker, I can. And I can also adjust the page background, so if I wanted to make that yellow, I could do that. But I'll change it back to white again. So they are basically all of the read mode functions. Now I'll go through the write mode functions. So I just click on write mode here. So write mode is where I would enter text into ReadOn or use it as a writing tool.